What if a simple desire for peace turned into a storm in the hearts of those you hold most dear? Meet Elena Carter, a 48-year-old Boston mother whose life has always been about the people around her, her daughter, her extended family, and the responsibilities she carries. Every birthday cake is baked, every family crisis is resolved, every moment is freely given. But now, for the first time, she craves something, to be herself, a solitary retreat for just a few short days. We could stop to breathe, reflect, and remember her not just as mother, daughter, or caregiver. Yet, that small request stirred something much larger. The misunderstandings, the guilt, and the fragile threads of unspoken expectations that weaved through her family. Is it selfish to crave solitude? Is it time for Elena to recover the pieces of herself she lost while constantly saying yes? Join us as we explore the story of motherhood, identity, and the quiet revolution of self-esteem. Subscribe now to follow Elena's journey and reflect on what it means to love your family while remaining true to yourself. Elena has just experienced a familiar but difficult moment. Her desire to find solitude for herself collides with the expectations of her family. Now, she sits quietly, contemplating the meaning of everything around her. For Emily, family has always been the solid foundation of her life, a bond that transcends distance and misunderstanding. But as she finds her good nature being pulled in different directions, Elena begins to lose herself in thought. How can she maintain these precious connections without losing herself? She is in the midst of an internal struggle between the roles. She has long assumed the good girl, the devoted mother, and the whispers of her own private moments. It is a delicate dance, a balancing act in which every step is meaningful, but the melody seems to demand more of her. In these moments, Elena wonders, is it possible to truly respect others when you neglect your own happiness? And as these thoughts swirled through her mind, she realized that perhaps the key wasn't choosing between one or the other, but rather finding the perfect blend, blending her desires with the demands of her family. What happens next? Let's explore the moment when Elena comes face to face with the essence of the problem in the ongoing story. We've just uncovered Emily's deep reflections on reconciling her personal desires with those of her family. Now, those reflections lead us to delve deeper into the nature of the struggle she's been through. Emily, always seen as the strong pillar of her family, is suddenly caught between the expectations of her family and her desire to carve out her own space. It's a deep conflict that many of us can relate to, the desire to maintain family ties while also seeking a space of our own. Jenna returns home for the summer, having just arrived with her children, and the rhythms of family life seem to have settled into Elena's familiar role, always available, always present. This summer, however, Elena craved something different, a retreat to herself, to take a break from the never-ending hustle and bustle of life. Not just a means of relaxation, but also a chance to reflect and recharge. Something that deep down, even she knew she desperately needed. As the days drew to a close, what started as gentle hints of disappointment from Jenna quickly turned into frank, almost confrontational conversations. "Mom, are you coming to the lake with us tomorrow?" Jenna asked, her voice carrying a hint of anticipation, as if the yes was ready to be said. Elena hesitated, her heart aching at the thought of disappointing her daughter. While the concept of taking time for herself seems easy, the emotional pain runs deeper, a fear of guilt, potential hurt, and the torment of disappointing those she loves. It's as if an invisible thread of expectation tugs harder every time Elena tries to back away. Other family members join in, adding to the pressure. Is she selfish or simply a human being looking for space? As time passes, the atmosphere becomes increasingly suffocating. Emily's efforts to protect her needs create ripples in the family relationship, which has always been smooth and understanding. Will this boundary setting cause cracks in the relationships she holds dear? Is there any chance that it could redefine them in a more positive way? Conflict is undeniable, but within it lies the potential for growth. From these conflicts, we wonder if this family can navigate the challenging waters to find unexpected harmony. What comes next? Let's explore. Continuing Emily's struggle to find space amid family expectations, we delve deeper into the heart of the storm. Imagine Jenna, a young woman who has always looked to her mother as the unshakable pillar of the family. Jenna's disappointment was not loud or filled with arguments. Rather, it was subtle. There is a quiet doubt in her gaze, a sense of emptiness that permeates the space as her mother expresses her need for privacy. This shift evokes a quiet storm inside Jenna, a whisper of misunderstanding, as she wonders why the woman who always put her family first is now creating distance. It's not just that vacation plans have been forgotten. It's the quiet worry that the mosaic of family bonds is slowly being torn apart. As Jenna navigates this complex terrain, watching her mother put herself first, a wave of emotions washes over her. It challenges everything she has come to understand about family roles. In the background, other family members, nurtured by years of tradition, begin to exert subtle pressure. The echoes of traditional family values echo through every phone call. Familiar phrases like family first, it's just another summer, linger in the air. Alina feels the weight of these expectations, a reminder of her role in holding the family together. She must confront the conflict between her own desires and her parenting, legacy always present, always sacrificial. The mounting pressure from her family is not a straightforward confrontation, yet the sincerity of their expectations deepens Emily's psyche, enriching her inner conflict. They love her fiercely, longing for her to give in, longing for her to stay where she has always belonged. In their eagerness to protect tradition, they struggle to see Emily's quest for self-care as necessary, let alone positive. Between frustration and the mounting pressure from her family, a picture emerges that reflects the inner struggles within every family, a delicate dance between individual desires and shared expectations. It raises a profound question for each of us. How do we maintain self-care without losing our family connections? What situations will Alina and Jenna face next? Can a treasure from the past, like an old family photo, become a bridge to understanding each other? Let's explore. As we have just witnessed, tensions are escalating in the Carter household, as Alina feels caught between her desire for privacy and the relentless expectations of her family. Now, we are in a quiet but meaningful moment. Emily, in the midst of an overwhelmingly warm afternoon, found herself drawn to an old photo album tucked away on a dust-covered shelf. The album depicts the familiar blue skies and laughter from a recent family vacation, a moment when relationships feel comfortable and natural. Jenna, captivated by the gentle rustling of the pages, joined her mother. Together, they turned the pages, pausing over photos of sandcastles and ice cream cones, their laughter echoing distantly and whispering throughout the room. "Oh, that summer really brought us wonderful moments, didn't it, Mom?" Jenna's voice carried a hint of nostalgia. Elena nods, a surge of emotions welling up in her heart. "We had wonderful moments, didn't we? I miss those carefree moments." A silence, filled only by the gentle murmur of life moving around their little bubble. Alina took a deep breath, finally blurting out the thoughts in her heart. "Jenna, she hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "I know that you and everyone else always expect me here, always ready, but sometimes I also need a moment of silence to find myself." Jenna looked at her mother, her eyes filled with surprise but also sympathy. "I feel like you're not around as much, and it's hard. I miss our conversations," she admitted, her voice softening, understanding rather than criticism. As the candid conversation unfolded, Alina realized she was explaining not just about the summer, but about the delicate balance between a deep love for her family and the need to take time for herself. Jenna listened intently, absorbing every word, her own experiences breathing life into her understanding. This heartfelt conversation, sparked by a simple photo album, opened a bridge between them. It was a simple, genuine moment that opened the way for a new relationship built on a foundation of empathy and honest communication. How will this temporary understanding develop? What will happen next? Let's find out together in the next scene. In the dim light of the living room, as the shadows of days gone by flicker across the pages of an old photo album, Alina and Jenna find themselves embarking on an unexpected journey of discovery and reflection. Memories from their most recent family vacation are revealed, bringing forth emotions both raw and profound. Emily, recalling the laughter that resonated like music in the summer air, began to speak from the heart. "You know, Jenna, those moments mean so much to me," she confided, her voice laced with vulnerability. "It's probably only now that I've truly realized how much I've missed them." Jenna, surprised by her mother's sincerity, hesitated before responding. She had always sensed the undercurrents of unspoken emotions between them, but had never found a way to work through them. "I feel the same way, Mom," Jenna admitted softly, her eyes lighting up. "But sometimes, I feel like you're always in other relationships, She felt like she was fading into the shadows of the painting, that as they both acknowledged this, an invisible thread began to grow stronger between them. Emily, touched by honesty, realized her daughter yearned for recognition and time. "I didn't mean to make you feel ignored," Alina replied softly, her voice even as she spoke. "I realized that I had gotten so caught up in trying to do everything at once, forgetting that being present with you was where I truly belonged." This exchange became the foundation of their understanding, organizing it in a way that words had never touched before. Alina reached out and took Jenna's hand. A silent promise of understanding sparked in that simple gesture. This conversation, this moment of connection, highlighted a fundamental truth about family, that beneath the misunderstandings and the scrutiny was a strong bond, waiting to be rediscovered. As they sat together, enveloped in a newfound clarity, they began to unravel layers of unspoken baggage, uncovering vulnerabilities they had never dared to share before. A cautious but genuine connection blossomed as each held space for the other's thoughts and feelings, creating a newfound mutual respect with a lighter and more peaceful heart. They rest in the warm embrace of their new understanding. However, this is just one chapter in their ongoing story. What valuable lessons will Alina and Jenna learn from this insightful exchange? What will they discover next in their journey of learning and love? Let's find out. A simple conversation between Alina and Jenna opened a door to deep understanding, bridging the gap that had grown between them over time. This defining moment in their journey is a powerful reminder of the power of honest communication. It reminds us that sometimes the most difficult conversations have the potential to bring us closer to the people we care about. By revealing their deepest selves, Alina and Jenna exposed their vulnerabilities, shattering the walls they had silently built. This act of openness fosters an environment where honesty can flourish, becoming the foundation for stronger family relationships. But communication alone isn't always enough. Empathy is essential. When Alina truly listened to Jenna's feelings and valued her perspective, something remarkable happened. She leaves her personal experience to enter Jenna's world, where untold hardships and hopes await. This shift in perspective, this empathy is a bridge, connecting hearts in a way that only genuine understanding can. What's more, as Alina admits her oversight and Jenna reveals her frustration, they discover a common ground of forgiveness. Ultimately, forgiveness is the quietest cure for family discord. It opens the door for us to escape our grievances, letting go of the resentments that hold us captive in the past. In forgiving, Alina and Jenna decide to honor their current relationship, investing in its growth rather than dwelling on past hurts. It's a testament to the resilience of family love, which, when nurtured, can weather even the most devastating storms. These elements, communication, empathy, and forgiveness, are not simply lessons. They are the lifelines that help family relationships stay strong and unbroken. They are connecting values, reminding us that behind every difference lies an opportunity for greater understanding and connection. As you pause to reflect on these universal lessons, imagine how they might resonate in your own family story. What conversations are waiting to be opened? Who might you need to learn more about? And where might forgiveness bring new life to old wounds? What comes next? Explore how these lessons can be applied, sparking reflection on your own family dynamics and encouraging deeper, more meaningful connections. We have just embarked on the deep journey of discovery that Alina and Jenna have begun, a testament to the enduring power of honest communication and empathy. Now is a good time to shine a light into the recesses of our own hearts and reflect on our own family stories. Consider this. Do we truly understand the stories and struggles of those closest to us, or are we only scratching the surface? By courageously stepping into the deep, listening, and sharing with vulnerability, we can transform long-held assumptions and misunderstandings into meaningful dialogue and new intimacy. Ask yourself, what would happen if you approached family conversations with curiosity and patience today? Could an honest conversation bridge gaps, heal wounds, or create joyful connections that were previously thought impossible? As we pause to consider these questions, remember that the smallest actions often lead to the biggest transformations. Alina and Jenna's story is not just their personal journey. It's a blueprint for love and understanding that we can all learn from and apply. Imagine the power that comes from a courageous conversation. Would you take that step? Next, let's look back at how Alina and Jenna's relationship found strength through mutual respect and new understanding. What happens next? Let's explore. As we reflect on Alina and Jenna's journey, we find an eternal truth. The essence of family is mutual understanding and respect. Looking at their honest conversations, informed by their precious memories, we see the transformation of Alina and Jenna's relationship. This re-engagement of their relationship, born of authenticity and vulnerability, subtly changes the family dynamic. It affirms that boundaries, which are often seen as divisions, can also become bridges to deeper connections. The family realizes that respect does not diminish love. On the contrary, it strengthens it. This journey is not just Emily's or Jenna's, it is our story, and it illustrates the profound impact of honest communication. This encourages us to expand our horizons, to go beyond ingrained expectations, and to focus on the unique needs of each family member. Have you ever wondered if perhaps the strongest relationships are built on understanding and empathy? As we close this chapter, Alina and Jenna's vibrant bond has provided a strong foundation for the entire family to explore this new balance. Today, they symbolize the power of facing family challenges with grace and openness. What happens next? Let's explore these lessons together to see how they inspire us to value and nurture our family relationships. When we pause to reflect on Alina and Jenna's journey, we realize the transformative power of understanding and open dialogue. They have demonstrated that the strength of family relationships can be nurtured through patience and empathy. Do we take the time to listen and speak from the heart to the loved ones around us? Do we let moments pass with the belief that tomorrow will come? Day after day, we have the opportunity to affirm these connections, to send the message to those who matter most to us that they are noticed, heard, and appreciated. Remember, it is through simple conversations that walls begin to dissolve and love begins to grow. Families are the solid foundation that keeps us grounded in an ever-changing world, the unshakable source of strength. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it is easy to lose our way. But let this story serve as a gentle reminder. Make time for laughter, for understanding, for love. Because, in the end, it is these connections that define us and give our lives their deepest meaning. Let's hold on to our families today and every day that comes. Now, as we move forward, what lessons can we learn from our own lives? How will Alina act as she absorbs the lessons of those around her? Let's explore this together. Previously, we've inspired appreciation for family and encouraged deep, honest conversations. Now, meet Laura, Emily's loyal friend, whose journey of setting family boundaries unfolds into an inspiring story of courage and self-respect. Laura, a woman brimming with passion and infectious laughter, has always been the peacemaker within her family. Over the years, her siblings have looked to her for emotional support, often without appreciating the generosity she has shown them. She reminisces about her childhood home, a place that was full of life, but only she knows the profound impact it has had on her soul. At a family gathering last summer, Laura felt the weight of unspoken expectations. In the heated atmosphere of the gathering, Laura felt a familiar pang of responsibility rising, urging her to intervene in petty conflicts between people. This time, however, she decided to take a different path. Discovering her newfound strength, Laura quietly expressed her desire for balance in her life. Initially, her family faced her boundaries with confusion, even resistance. However, she remained steadfast in her views, explaining, "I love everyone deeply, but I've come to realize that loving myself means creating space for my own peace." Her sincerity became an enlightenment, opening up more meaningful relationships within her family. Like Emily's own struggle, Laura's journey reminds us that setting boundaries isn't about alienating people, but about allowing them to enter new conditions that honor both hearts. Alina listens intently as Laura recounts her journey, remembering how her friend's courage ignited a spark in her own heart. Perhaps for the first time, she realizes the deep connection between self-esteem and family relationships, a lesson that can only be explored through the lens of different stories. As we reflect on Laura's steadfast pursuit of happiness, one question remains: how can we transform our relationships simply by daring to express our truth through love? What comes next? We venture into a new side of Emily's family, as the light is shown on her sister Sarah, who offers insight into family dynamics that open up a whole new layer of understanding. Follow along to discover how these stories intersect, creating a colorful mosaic of growth and acceptance. In every family, there are individuals who feel left out, like a piece of the puzzle that has been ripped from the picture. This is Emily's younger sister Sarah, who has always felt like the stepchild in the family. We've just heard Laura's inspiring story about setting boundaries. And now let's explore Sarah's journey a little further. For years, Sarah felt overshadowed by her siblings. Emily, the eldest sister, is a reliable presence, a steadfast figure that everyone can trust, while others navigate their paths smoothly within the family narrative. Sarah, endowed with artistic talent and unconventional choices, often finds herself misunderstood. She was burdened with heavy expectations that never really aligned with her dreams, creating a lingering sense of loneliness. Let's dive into a meaningful turning point in Sarah's life. In a seemingly ordinary but deeply meaningful moment, she received an unexpected letter from her mother, a letter that highlighted her unique qualities, the things her family truly valued. Even if they never said it out loud, her mother expressed admiration for Sarah's courage in forging her own path, calling her strengths and inspiration to everyone, including Emily. This news shocked Sarah, shaking up her understanding of being an outsider. The journey to acceptance began not with grand gestures, but with sincere acknowledgement and small but meaningful actions. With new insights, Sarah gradually realizes that her differences are a source of strength, and that being a stepchild does not mean lacking love. She discovered the power of acceptance, not only in herself but also in her family. It was about allowing herself to be authentic and allowing her family to see her for who she really was. Her story invites reflection on a deeper question. How often do we recognize the quiet resilience of those around us? Sarah's growth stands as a testament to the significance of celebrating diversity within family units and engaging in a profound discussion, one that reflects a thoughtful understanding. Acceptance is not about conformity. It is about cherishing individuality. What comes next? Join us as we explore a conversation with Mr. Thompson, a friendly neighbor who shares life-affirming insights with Emily and emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries and reflecting in our twilight years. As Sarah's journey toward acceptance turns, Elena appears at the window, sharing her afternoon with Mr. Thompson, the wise and kind neighbor across the street. Over the years, they have built a warm tradition of afternoon tea, where conversations flow as freely as the delicious tea. Today, in the peaceful silence between sips, Mr. Thompson, now in his 90s, shares a profound truth that he has always held close to his heart. Emily, he began, his voice a blend of nostalgia and regret. Looking back, if there's one thing I wish I had done differently, it would be to set boundaries. His blue eyes, bright with memory, turned to the trees, whispering in the gentle breeze. I spent years trying to please everyone, my family, my friends, without realizing that sometimes saying no can be important. I had put my needs aside, afraid that I would disappoint the people I love. But what really disappointed them was that I was not living authentically. Ellen Allison's every word of Mr. Thompson resonated profoundly, mirroring her own struggles. He leaned in and shared, "It has taken me most of my life to understand. Boundaries are not walls, they are pathways to healthier, more respectful relationships." His wisdom, softly spoken but carrying the weight of life experience, inspired a new resolve in Emily. She realized that, in the chaos of family life, it was necessary to create a space for herself, without guilt or fear. Elena pondered, wondering how many of us struggle to balance our needs with those of others. Mr. Thompson's story is not just a lesson in regret. It is a poignant reminder of the strength hidden in weakness and the courage to live one's truth. As the tea cools, he offers Alina a gentle piece of advice. It's never too late to be the person you want to be. With this statement, Alina experiences a profound transformation, realizing that respecting herself is an act of true love for her family. As the scene closes, she quietly contemplates the possibility of reconnecting with a distant cousin through the bonds of their family. What secrets lie hidden there? We'll continue Emily's journey, exploring the deeper aspects of her family relationships in the next installment. In the quiet repetition of shared stories and the warmth of a cup of tea with Mr. Thompson, Elena felt the reflections of the untold chapters of her family's story, like the profound stories from years gone by that he had told. In a moment of self-reflection, she recalled an obscure teaching. The actions of our ancestors are not just stories, but threads that connect us to the larger picture of family. In tree, Alina immersed herself in genealogy, a new passion that soon led her to explore a forgotten branch of her family tree. To a distant cousin she had only heard about in passing in her ancestors' anecdotes, her cousin Clara, who lives across the ocean with a charming Irish accent, is equally passionate about exploring the paths of their shared heritage. Their cautious initial emails quickly turn into passionate video calls, drawing Alina into a world of exciting historical discoveries that illuminate the quirks and adventures of their shared lineage. Through stories of her great-grandparents, daring forays to America during the Age of Exploration, along with tender tales of ordinary lives lived to the full, Alina discovers more than names and dates. She discovers a rich legacy of resilience and spirit. As the layers of history are peeled back, the cousins also discover hidden rifts, a past family feud, long forgotten by reason, but deeply felt in the undercurrents of family lore. Together, they begin to weave these memories into a healing story. As they retrace their ancestors' journeys, the challenges overcome, the dreams pursued, and the bridges burned, they discover profound lessons of forgiveness and compassion that transcend the ages. This journey back into the folds of history awakens in Emily a deep sense of identity and belonging. It nurtures a new kinship with Clara, erasing the shadows of distant rivalries. Each chapter in their ancestral journey is a stepping stone, leading them to reconciliation, not only with their family's past, but also with their own souls. As she nurtures this connection, Alina learns that genealogy is more than a hobby. It is a journey of healing the heart and mending wounds, both in the mind and in the real world. As we enter the next chapter, it is important to pause and reflect: how has our history influenced our present, and is there any possibility of healing the rifts we once thought irreparable? Let's explore. Alina recently reunited with her distant cousin, thanks to their shared passion for genealogy. This gesture truly highlights the power of small but meaningful connections. Now, let's take a look at Emily's journey of empowerment and the impact it has had on her family and friends. By setting positive boundaries, Alina has not only taken care of her own health, but has also inspired those around her to rethink their own lives. It's amazing how a single choice to put our personal needs above our unknowing long-term obligations can light a beacon for those around us. Emily's commitment to a solo retreat initially created tension, but it ultimately demonstrated the transformative power of self-care. Consider, for example, Emily's close friend Laura, who was encouraged to find inner strength and courageously set her own boundaries with her family, opening the way to greater understanding and respect in their family relationships. As her family watched Emily's transformation, her sister Sarah gradually found the courage to express her feelings more honestly, breaking free of the black sheep mantle she had silently carried for years. Emily's actions highlighted an important truth: setting healthy boundaries is not a selfish act, but an expression of love, creating an environment where personal growth and family harmony can flourish. The people in Emily's circle undergo a revolution. They realize they are capable of fulfilling their own desires while also nurturing the relationships around them. The ripple effect is profound. Emily's daughter, Jenna, begins to see the value of finding balance, not only in her relationships but also in her personal ambitions. And surprisingly, even Mr. Thompson, her wise neighbor, sees Emily's journey as a lesson in living more authentically, sharing his new insights during their regular tea conversations. This transformation reveals a surprising truth: when we learn to respect our own boundaries, it can change the landscape around us, igniting empathy and respect for others. Are we underestimating the power of a single act of self-compassion? By respecting our individual needs, can we build a foundation for a loving and supportive community? What comes next? Let's explore a journey of personal growth where connections can flourish, filled with love and understanding. When we pause to reflect on Emily's journey, we realize how her decision to establish healthy boundaries sparked a powerful wave of transformation. This story is not just about overcoming individual differences, it is also a living testament to the power of growth, both individually and collectively. At the heart of family is understanding the recognition that each member has unique needs and desires. Encourage the courage to have difficult conversations that open the way to healing. Emily's story reminds us that the journey of personal growth is not a solitary one. It permeates every corner of our lives, touching the hearts of those around us. Emily's courage to speak her truth not only enriched her own life, it encouraged her family to re-examine their own expectations and beliefs. In every family, courage is often understood as taking the first step toward reconciliation. Even though the road ahead may be full of obstacles, it is accepting our weaknesses and admitting when we have made mistakes. It's not always simple, but acts of honesty and courage like this have the potential to revive relationships that seemed lost. Discover how Jenna and Emily, through their newfound openness, built a bridge of shared understanding and memories. Reunion is more than just physical presence. It's a deep emotional connection, a mutual recognition of each other's roles and needs. Emily's story raises profound questions for us. What if we approached family conflict with a listening heart and ear like this? Is it possible to uncover untold stories, unconsidered perspectives, and create stronger bonds? We are reminded that personal growth has the potential to spark a cycle of improvement and empathy, one that can regenerate family love when we open ourselves to it. An interesting discovery from this journey is that family love, often taken for granted, does not diminish with time or distance, but rather through a lack of dialogue. Sometimes what holds us back is not the chasm, but the forgotten bridge, rebuilt through empathy and courage. As we reflect on Emily's experience, let us challenge ourselves to create a space where every family member can feel heard and understood. In doing so, we may discover new ways to nurture our relationships. Can we then open up pathways to deeper understanding, turning conflict into a catalyst for stronger, more lasting family bonds? Next, let's explore together how these principles can transform our own relationships.